I do. Fade out. Yeah. That's everyone can hear and see me, which is beneficial when you're doing a live stream, right? What is going on? Yeah, not quite James Taylor, it's missing the A. And what is up, Luca? Saw us at Sydney opening for Malmsteen. Thanks, bro. That was a really, really fun show. Still think about that one from time to time. Really, really cool audience. Obviously, you were in it, so it was extra cool. That was super fun. Torin, what's up, brother? When do you get your new power amp? Is it on the way already? I see that it's been claimed. Right, where else? Fan of the Wild, mate. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. I always like to think, you know, what's the song? Steve Lukather, Lionel Richie, Running in the Night, where that entire solo was just his warm-up. So that's the standard we can all aspire to, right? Luca just bought myself a JCM 2000. Bro, yes, such a good amp. Like all the Marshall sounds you will ever need in one amp, and takes pedals great and does all the things. And also Lorenzo, how are you, mate? Love your profile picture. Someone wanted to hear, Lorenzo wanted to hear 80s cleans. Well, as you may expect, let's do this. So this is interesting. So I have I don't know if you guys can see this. I'm using my phone as a webcam at the moment. So, slightly like this is, so what is this? Everybody says, this is the new JTG. So they are, it says on there, handcrafted in China. So they're made in China. They're set up in the LA store. So the setup on this is sick. It's set up basically like any other Tyler, which is pretty immaculate. The mid-boost preamp is in there. It doesn't have all the series parallel stuff. So it's got a 5-way. And you've got a little button here to engage or disengage the preamp. So if you go to, let's do neck and middle, because that's the source, right? With an 80s style clean thing, which I can bring up right here. Can I bring it up right here? No, I need to go over here. Let's do this one. Okay. So, you know, no preamp involved. And then just the neck. The neck's got that, like, I really like the neck pickup sound. It's got that kind of like woody thing about it. But yeah, neck and middle, bridge and middle. That's actually sick, isn't it? Now, what's interesting is if you engage the preamp, but you have the mid boost at a minimum, you're still getting quite a difference in the sound. No preamp, preamp. Like it gives you that bass boost that rolls off a bit of high end. Preamp, no preamp. Ah, there it is. Neck and middle, no preamp. Preamp. Ah, it's very nice. Now, of course, with the preamp, you can then add back in, start to boost it. Which in this setup just means I'm hitting the compressor harder. That's a mid boost on full, that's on minimum, and that's totally off. So yeah, it does the thing. Where are we? Yes, that is Looking for Love, isn't it? Oh yeah, man, the neck on its own is compared to, so I've got the Landau pickups in my old Strat, the one you can see the big headstock here. Pretty similar. Pretty similar. Not in drop D, but and I think that I don't know who makes the trem for them, but it's pretty sick. I don't know if it's a Godot or something like that, but it's like it's perfect. And this is the guitar arrived in tune straight out of the box. So Bill Hound, what's up, bro? Testament, the new order solo. I think by the end of this year, I'm gonna know every Skolnick lead semi-okay. Let's have a listen, shall we, mate? And go back to the grease. What I find interesting with this mid boost with the bridge humbucker is, so this is without the preamp. Then with it, once you add the mid boost, it's kind of like very much a lead guitar thing to me. I'd prefer it on the humbucker without it. But you want to play a solo. But on the neck is, yeah, you really hear it. It takes you from that. Takes all the zing out of the dirty tones on there anyway. So, all right, Bill Hound. I'm just going to cheat and use a use a chart for this one. So this intro is pretty, how's it going? It's like Thunderstruck from Hell, right? So he does this. Where I'm gonna give me the preamp. Oh, I need the extra gain. So it's got this like quite fast. You're going. This is just the intro. It's quite a big stretch. And I like this bit here, the. Whoops. That's yeah, deceptively tricky. There's woo! But let's go to the solo, shall we? Whew. Let's see. So there's a bit of a thing here. This bit. This tab. So stuck in E. Yeah, there's that. There. Like a call and response thing. And then this little run in here. I like that. I like that a lot. Cool. This neck has a, it's like, fat isn't the right word, but the shoulders are a little squarer than your typical like Fender style thing, which I don't mind. A little more like Gibson-y. Guess which pattern Randy will be playing tomorrow. Exactly. Gang's all here. Ah, oh, Jason, mate, what is going on? Looking forward to seeing what arrives in the box. And also actually calling you and having a chat and catching up. But yeah, everyone needs to go and watch Jason's channel because we do have the gang all here. So gang, what are we doing while we're hanging out here? Getting greasy. I'm checking the tuning on this thing as it settles into this Mediterranean climate. There we go. Troy, are you doing the Dockers today? Like that is today, right? Quick question from Paul Lascola. It's better to keep the output volume down on my Axe and push my amp and speakers live. It depends on how you're running it. If you're using it, you know, if you're running it into the front of an amp, so using it as an effects processor. Hey Trent, what's up, man? Now, truly the gang is all here. This is amazing. It's called having no friends as a child. What was I saying? Yeah, then if you're running into the front of an amp, use output 3, turn it all the way up, because unity gain. If you're driving a power amp and cabinet, yeah, that's a tricky one, because some power amps, I'm sure as Jason will say, you know, you don't want to overload the input too hard. So I'm fairly certain in that case, you're still probably not going to do any damage to anything. So I don't know, start it at like 11 o'clock and go from there. But if you're just running into front of house or a powered speaker, then just make sure you're not overloading the input. Get your switchblades and grease. I got a 5-way switch and I got grease, so that's about as good as we're going to get right now, right? There we go. This week on Dumb Guitar Noises. Doing the same harmonic in every position. You know, finally a headstock that is actually bigger than my headstock. Look at that. It's actually larger than my forehead. And I can't stress how loud and large, how loud my forehead is. It's a loud forehead, but I can't stress how large it is. So imagine George Janicki joins the chat. Bro, we would spontaneously combust. Do I know any Giant or other Dan Huff stuff to play on that, Tyler? No, but I'm willing to just sit down and learn some, so... I'm really tempted now to do like I quite like this, having this little button on here to kick the preamp in on that neck pickup, right? For rhythm stuff, because you got raw. Now I like that sound, big dirty strat. But then you kick in the preamp just a little bit. That's the Giant song. All right. The punishment begins. Oh, boy. Yeah, that's right. So, sorry, is that the song or the album? Because there's a lot of stuff on there. No, that's the song as well. Let's do this. Giant Time to Burn. Yeah, that's, man, Dan Huff's just very, very, very good at the music. And all the other things. Where are we at? Cool. So like no one has transcribed this, which makes it even more fun, right? All right, I'm just gonna do it. Just gonna dive straight in and let's see how bad I am at picking up riffs by ear. I mean, that's already... The bounciness that's happening there with that, the way he's playing not a super high gain sound, but that articulation in there is just, yeah, kind of great, isn't it? Anyway. Of course in F sharp. Something like that. So, what does he do at the start? Yeah, okay. Okay, let's slow it down. Let's do it. Playback speed. Not much. It's either that or he's using the blue note in it. Maybe it's that. And then... okay, alright. So it's actually reasonable. Oh, ugh. The Dan Huff Here I Go Again radio version is better than the 87 version. I think that's unpopular for a reason. I don't disagree, but 1987 is Sykes, and everything John did on that is like untouchable to me. And Dan is so good, but it's just different. It's like Vi in Whitesnake. Steve Vai outside of Whitesnake, I love it. I can listen to it all day. Steve Vai in Whitesnake is like I don't know, just never hit the spot for me in the way that, like, you know, when I listen to that stuff, I just want to hear, I want to hear John's like... I want to hear that insane vibrato. Man. Man. Yeah, I agree. Agreed. It's just kind of like Steve going whole hog on it. I read an interview from an old guitar mag where he basically said, I'll play guitar on it, but I get to do whatever I want. Which, I mean, I get the flex, but yeah, it's not, that doesn't really bode well for a band album when the guitar player is just like, I'm doing whatever I want. You guys can all get stuffed. Same dynamic, similar to John Norman Key Marcello. Yeah, it's like the Key Marcello stuff that Key Marcello did is awesome. But yeah, I don't know. Something about John's playing. No, they're actually both insane. Can't see the guitar. Right. Let me just do this. See if I've got this very dodgy improvised. There you go. Now you can see what's up. Very dodgy improvised camera stand at the moment. You don't need to see my head. I'm a big fat noggin. Just cringeworthy to hear Viam White say, yeah, maybe not quite cringe. Yeah, there's a bunch of stuff where I'm like, yeah. I love Eat 'em and Smile though. That's peak Steve Vai to me. When will you be back in the studio? This is the studio now. It's going to get built out a little bit more, but yeah, you're stuck with it. We moved house, so this is, well, didn't even get a chance to be a spare bedroom. It was like, yep, guitar's going there, done. I need to put some stuff on the walls and do a bunch of other stuff. But yeah, it's interesting. Like, you know, the old supergroup thing. You know, people are like, oh, it's this player who's great in this band and this player and this player. And you're like, yeah, but it doesn't mean that their new band's going to be any good. You know, you got to have that chemistry and you got to have the, I don't know, I feel like the best stuff musically often comes about when two very distinct artists compromise and meet in the middle rather than someone like submit to the other one's, you know, ego, artistic vision, whatever it is. The DLR stuff I think is cool because you can hear like Dave's Dave, but he's letting the band be themselves as well, but they're reinforcing one another. Whereas the Slip of the Tongue thing was like, you know, Steve coming in and kind of big dogging everybody. So flexible. Yeah, that's the one with. With the Attitude song. Oh, is that Flexible too? I love that. Yeah, Fleetwood Mac, Rumours. Yeah, everybody hated each other, but they bring it together, and you got the album out of it. So yeah, how do I like the JTG? It's sick, man. It compares really, really well to the Strat Ultra I've got here, the USA one. So it's a different thing. Like feels very curated, for use of a better term. Like this is a guitar built for idiots like me, whereas the Strat Ultra is built for a far wider, let's say, general audience. Like you want a really nice modern Fender with a compound radius and things like that. It's great, but yeah, this is like straight up built for grease. I really like it. The thing that's very, very impressive, you know, like when you look at the fret ends on a guitar, I don't know if that'll show up or if you can see like the rolled edges, but I've played some guitars recently out of like some custom shop stuff and some other, you know, well-regarded high-end brands, and like the fret ends aren't as nice as they are on this. The frets aren't, you know, they're just not as good. Like this, whoever's doing the fretting and the setup on this is nailing it, which is as it should. You know, it's like an $1,800 guitar. Those things should be on the ball. But yeah, when you play like a $3,000 guitar and those things aren't there, you kind of go like, hey. Do you have any advice about keeping the right amount of gear? I really need to thin the collection, but having trouble making choices. Oh man, I feel you, dude. I feel you. A good way to manage that is like figure out exactly what you need. You know, line it all up, get all the things out, and just lay your mental illness out in front of yourself and go, right, what are the things if I had, you know, if I'm doing gigs, if I'm recording, what do I actually need? Everything else just, yeah. And then if you're unsure about something, if there's some sentimental value attached to something, and maybe it's a guitar that's not set up well or it needs some servicing, sell the other stuff, get the sentimental stuff serviced so that it's fully operational, and then use it. So, yeah, practice what you preach would be a good example for me. I should take my own advice. Do I play acoustic guitar? Yeah. Any favorites? I've got a really nice Maton 12 string, which I need to pull out and do some vids with because that thing's incredible. Headway, a Japanese company, actually made by the same company that makes the Japanese Tylers, funnily enough, which is great. And then I've got a Cole Clark Fat Lady 2, which was the gigging beast for a long time. But I do a lot of acoustic gigs on electric guitar now, so you know, doing duo stuff where you're just like, well, they expect an acoustic guitar, but you take an electric solid body, hollow body, I mean, and that'll be pretty cool. Contraband with Michael Schenker and Tracy Guns, yeah. I mean, anything with Michael Schenker just rules. Your own version of a Strat, and it could be called the Toddercaster. I reckon I could sell about 3 of those, two of which would be to me. Yeah, it'd be the headstock would be the shape of my headstock though, and people would stop complaining about the Tyler and start complaining about it. All right, check out your video today. Watch the James Tyler launch video as well. They're very, very solid, man. Like just you know, sometimes you get an import guitar or like a brand budget guitar and you're like, ah, cool. I mean, it's sort of like the real thing. And then you play it for a bit and you put it back down. And I don't know, there's like a lot of those things have like a plasticiness about them, which this doesn't have, which makes me want to play it. You know, the point of origin is irrelevant, where it's like they kind of haven't cut any corners with it, even though it's an import, so it's a lot cheaper, but I mean, that's fat. Ah, there we go. Yeah, exactly. Ian knows. I'll have to pull out the green one especially. Oh man, shimmery goodness. I never think the collection had 53 years worth of gear. Once it gets here, does not leave. Biggest problem is space. So, I mean, it's just motivation to get more space, right? You still play your EMG equipment? Yes, I need to finish doing some stuff to that, actually. Especially playing this, because this, like, the body finish is like a more sparkly version. That one with EMGs is like a black sparkle. More black than sparkle. This is more sparkle than black. Makes me want to get that out. But I bought a new bridge for it that I put on and need to like set up properly, because it was like, yeah, I don't know. I didn't quite measure the spec properly and put it on, and it was like, oh yeah, this needs a bit of work. So yeah, that one's in a bit of a state of disrepair at the moment. But I should get like the EMG mid boost or something for it and go all out on it. There's the hold your fire tone, kids. What IR is that for cleans? The trick is no IR. This is the Axe FX Rockman compressor. I'll bring it in. So this is kind of cool. I'll show you guys the trick if you want this sound. It's actually the easiest thing in the universe. So, what do we have? Ignore all this. This is just a routing thing. But the moment, yeah, Rock Guy compressor. It has a tone control, so if you leave the tone on the stock value, it's way too dull. But you crank it up to 10. There you go. And a bit of stereo chorus. A little bit of delay on there. And then what's this? Gold plate reverb and a bit of pitch detune. So if I turn all the source off, just the shimmery sound. Sounds like a crap acoustic guitar. That's just the comp. Like, I have the preamp on the guitar, so no preamp. Preamp. Compressor. Chorus. There we go. Reverb. Pitch. And then a little bit of delay, a little bit of echoes. So, yeah, that's it. No IR. It's kind of like, goes. No, that's totally wrong.
Nick, hey man, how are you? Getting on to what? Is it about 4:30 in the arvo there for you on a Sunday? Do you have a Sunday off? Ooh, one speaker and a 1x12, what would you pick? I used to have a 1x12 with a V30 in it that I liked. But now, I might choose like an EV12L or something. Just because loud, clean, good stuff. Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah, without getting into it, the worst timing for a lot of people for a lot of stuff. 3:30 making roast chicken for the fam. I'll be over in 6 hours, mate. That sounds lovely. Remember getting my Rockman ages ago, plugging my Strat and press... dude, right? Jake Stevens, any interest in the new Synergy Fortin module? I'd love to see your review on it. Well, Jake, you're in luck because I've already reviewed it. And I have a video coming out today comparing it to the Ubershell module as well. So, yeah, there you go. It's up. Came out at launch. I mean, yeah, it's very good at this sound, isn't it? So without the preamp on the neck, I was saying... versus the old Wall Beast, the Strato Blaster. On the neck, this has the Sir Landau pickup in it, and it sounds like... like, that's the definition of a woody Strat pickup to me. That's pretty nice. And then this thing goes... it's a little bit brighter, I think. It's not far off. The cool thing as well is, you know, it's ultimately just kind of a Strat. So if you want to do other things that are not cheeseball grease. There you go. It's pretty crunchy. Yeah, I mean, it's very much in the ballpark, right?
Oh man, that sucks to hear, Randy. Yeah, I don't know if I got an early one, but maybe I've been lucky with a lot of stuff I get sent where it works, but I can see how it's such a fine margin on there. Via Sachatrucci just ordered the chameleon colored one. Dude, yes! I think you're gonna like it. It was a toss up between this and the yellow Huff style one. I just thought the sparkles looked cool. Yeah, it's a good guitar. It can do, with some Queensryche would be wicked. Well, let me bring up like a Marshall style sound on here. Preamp. With pitch detune, and let me just add the preamp in now. There we go. There it is. Where are we at? Gotta get the Mindcrime out. So you're playing that awesome Black Les Paul custom in your latest videos? Yes. Yes. It is... Where is it? Oh, it's in its gig bag. Yeah. Some Queensryche would be wicked. Yes, we just did that. I think the Fractal VP4, where are we at? Is one of the greatest pieces of gear to come out recently. I totally agree, and I'm totally not biased because... I mean, I made a bunch of the factory presets for it, so I am totally biased. I think it's great. I wouldn't have done that if I didn't think it was amazing, but yeah, you can... I mean, if you like the things that we like here, you can plug into that, and there's a lot of the presets I made and a lot of the blocks that are in there that I fine-tuned are matched to hardware gear. So, like, you know, if you try the Electric Mistress in the electro-harmonic style effects thing, then that's matched to a real Electric Mistress from the 70s. All the Eventide detunes and stuff like that are, you know, dialed in to be really, really close to the real stuff. So, yeah. You can just pull it out, plug it in, and then if you're into the grease, it like replaces a whole rack, which is pretty crazy. Jet City Woman would be interesting. Let's... can't remember how to play that. And yeah, how does the rhythm part in that go? This is unboosted. Let me chuck something else on in here. What do we have? I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna cheat and do the tabs, dudes. Jet City Woman. Man, I still remember the first time I heard that. Blew my tiny little mind. It still does. So good. Where are we? There we go. There we go. Give me more juice. Staying in tune pretty well. I like it. Thank you for the suggestion, Queensryche fans. So maybe Jason from Headfirst can weigh in. Who would be the Canadian? Who'd be the Canadian Jace? Anyone using a VP4 and 4 cable method? I've got one here to try out. Yeah, man. I like. So my favorite combo, Jace, is if you use. There's like a model of the TC integrated preamp in the drive block. So that running into like as maybe that and then no. Phase 90, TC integrated preamp, they're the ones in front of the amp, like if you're using the Alta, and then chuck a little bit of delay and then a little bit of like chorus or like some wobbly thing in there, or reverb in there. And then that's pretty sick. And then because the Alta's MIDI, you just let it change all the things with the scenes, right? So the Hirajoshi scale, yes. So you want to know a fun thing about these Japanese pentatonics, right? Most people learn them as take the first, second, third, fifth, and sixth from any minor mode, right? So if you're doing A natural minor, cool with that. So you take 1, 2, well, it's a minor third, but let's just call it third. If you had a Dorian mode, then you get. Which a lot of people call the Kumoi scale. You had Phrygian. Probably has a name, I don't know what it is. The other way to look at it is a traditional minor pentatonic scale. The one we all know. It's any minor mode without the 2 and the 6, okay? No 2, no 6. So take any, here's the thing. Now you take any major mode, let's take the Lydian mode, for example, in C. Leave out the 2 and the 6, so we're like pentatonicifying it, for use of a better term. We'd have 1, 3, sharp, 4, 5. Now that's a familiar sound already. If you had taken E natural minor and left out the 4 and the flat 7, you get... So E Hirojoshi can be like a C Lydian no 2, no 6. So when you know that, what's cool about it is if you take a pentatonic click, you go... So it's like a 2-note per string thing. It's a little more friendly if you're used to the... So that's kind of cool. If you do it with the Mixolydian mode, you get the dominant pentatonic. If you do it with an Ionian mode, you get... Which is fine. If you do it with a... Let's do some other fun stuff. If you did that with a melodic minor scale, you get... But yeah, I think the Lydian no 2, no 6 being equivalent to a Hirojoshi is the coolest one. If you do it with the Locrian mode, no 2, no 6. Whoops. Then that's the same as D Kumoy. It's also just a minor pentatonic without a 5, but a flat 5 in place. So instead of... It's... So that's kind of cool. That's sort of how it fits together. The Ionian one was very Indonesian gamelan-esque. Yes, that... Because it's got a lot of... Almost like a King Crimson Discipline era kind of thing with all of these. They sound, you know, you get this sound back. It's a strange one. Whereas a yeah. So anyway, that's how I think about those Japanese 5-note scales. The ragdoll song "Breaku," the solo goes. So there is that little, I guess, a Hirojoshi thing at the end. And there's a bit of that. Pretty cool. So yeah, that's talking about all these things. Let's catch up. If you're going to buy a Wizard Amp, Leon, which one would you get? I caught the real amp flu. I've been pretty lucky to play a couple of real ones. And they're really good amps. I liked the, so what is it, there's the classic and there's the MTL. The MTL is a really great amp. It's a little bit like I feel like once you get into this realm of modded Marshalldom, it's a little bit like super strats. Do you like what Tyler does? Do you like what Sir do? Do you like what Anderson do? Do you like what Chilia does? Do you like, there's a big ecosystem where, like, yes, ultimately it's a strat, but there's a few small things that you do to it that can push it in a slightly different direction. So yeah, I would say it's like, if I think about a classic Marshall sound, really everyone wants the sound of a cranked Plexi or a JCM 800. They might want to boost it. They might want a few options on there to morph between those sounds. So it's like, well, for me, okay, the MTL's really cool, but then a Friedman BE is really cool. A Head First Alta is really cool. I think it starts coming down to like, well, what are the features? What are you paying for? What are you getting? What are you not getting out of it? Yeah, I would say depends how flexible you want it to be as well. Some people want like more the Friedman thing where it's like you plug into it and it's got a sound. Oh, cool. There's the sound. It's a slightly smoother Marshall. Great. Plug into, if you have something like the Head First Alta or a Cherrytone All Access, you can do that smoother thing, but you can also do the like rawer, browner kind of thing out of it. There's all these options. You kind of have to just, know a little bit more about what you want and how to get it. I was wondering if they're above Friedman's or something. I guess it's subjective. Look, the thing with Wizard, go to their website and look at the list of their clients, and it looks like someone's made it up. It's like AC/DC, Foo Fighters, Queen. It looks like a Spotify playlist of rock music, of like who are the biggest bands ever. So that's part of what you're paying for with that. They make some great stuff, like anything, Play one before you can, but there's also a lot of people doing some really great Marshall adjacent stuff, like, again, super biased here because I've played it in the flesh and I think it's awesome. Like the Head First Alta is such a great amp. The fact that you can MIDI switch things like saturation, clipping diodes, bright switch values, have one bright switch value for your rhythm sound and one bright switch value for your lead sound with a separate master volume for your lead is pretty great. So yeah, like I hope Jason's still in here because Jace, like, you're doing amazing stuff with your amps and you deserve to check those out. I mean, yeah, Monomyth as well, doing great stuff. Jason would have to answer that one. I know Jace stays with Shay Monomyth at least once a year and they work on some stuff together, like the Club Secret. You should send your SV20 for Jason to mod because it will be it will be even more good. It's a great amp as it is, but yeah, I think you can add some source to it. Here we go. Curious what your thoughts on Molly Hatchet version of Dreams. I think the guitar solos are amazing. I wouldn't say it's better than the Allmans version, but I really like Molly Hatchet. Like, I grew up in a household where my dad played a lot of Molly Hatchet. I just thought everybody knew them, right? Where are we? It's different. It's like more... Molly Hatchet are cool because they're like a heavy metal southern rock band, right? That's what I like about them. Yeah, I mean, hard to go wrong between any of those. Plastodon. FC6, can you set up like 4 patches, clean, crunch, rhythm, and lead, but have the other 2 buttons as up and downs? Yes, you can. You can even do it. It's so customizable, dude. You could have it as, so it's 4 patches, so separate rigs. When you press 1, you use something called a layout link, where you select your clean sound and it comes up with all the effects that you want to turn on and off there. Then when you press another button, it goes back to your selection. So yeah, you could, what I would do, I would have one preset with 8 scenes in it, right? And then buttons 1, 2, 3, 4 up. When you press them, it goes 1, 2, 3, 4 for the scenes, clean, crunch, rhythm, lead. Then when you press them and hold them, you get clean variation, crunch with chorus, lead with extra reverb, rhythm super dry. So you have 8 sounds and then you have up and down. That would be a great way to do it. Just got the Monomyth skeleton key. I love it. The Monomyth stuff, you know, we talk about this like shades of Marshall. That is way more towards the like, oof, is it even a Marshall anymore? There's so much like, I'd love to play one. All the clips I've heard are just like, sounds like it's got this extra chungus about it too, you know, like extra low end and tightness and, you know, boosted 800 where you don't need a boost to get it. Randy Price, yeah, the Alta is sick. Sounds so good. Troy and I took that to the studio when we had it here and turned it all the way up to 10, and it was it was pretty great. Axe-FX Ultra modeling versus Helix amp modeling. Man, I don't even know anymore. I haven't pulled my Ultra out for a little while. I probably should. Been saying for 5 years I'm going to do another video with it, so maybe 2025 is the time. The Evil Joe is super cool too. Yes, I should have some clips with one soon, but talk about that more. It honestly all comes down to musicians. Some of the best players I know can take a $500 guitar, $300 amp, and make some killer sounding music. Exactly, but also gear as a hobby is pretty wicked. You know, that's a big part of it. Like, if I want to make music, I don't need much gear, but you know, I'm a man in my 30s. I need a hobby, so I could get into like muscle cars, or I could get into, I don't know, cave diving. But I don't want to drown in a cave, and I don't want to spend $100 grand on a car I'm never going to drive. So I choose to get into guitars instead. We all want Lambos. Yeah, exactly. Had a blue jean jacket with the death deal on his horse. Sick. Yeah, that's a vibe, man. More towards the Evil Joe. Sick. Yeah, I'm stoked to try one out. Any tips on how to love guitar again? I have all the most expensive gear and I don't love it anymore. Well, it sounds like you've self-diagnosed what it is. So normally we love our guitars when we play them. So my advice would be, you can still have all this stuff. Just take a random guitar, put it in your living room with an amp, and that's all you're allowed to play for a week. Make yourself enjoy it that way. That's one way to do it. Or just play songs that you like. Pick one guitar and just make it your mission. Go, you know what? I'm going to give this a month and we'll see where we're at the end. And then just like, you know, go from there with it. And if you fall out of love with it, that's also fine. There's no rule saying you have to love the guitar. There's lots of other noble pursuits in life. And sometimes life, you know, you gotta do life stuff. It's way more important. Randy, my man, yes. Let me play this for you. Let's do this. Let's hear it. Bridge humbucker, preamp off, then preamp on, then neck pickup. There we go. Like Geo Sundance, maybe a break. Sometimes you just got to not play for a while. Don't look at them. You know, there's a lot of ways around this. The guitars aren't going anywhere. You know, sometimes we're just not in the right space to enjoy them, and that's fine. What am I playing through? The Axe-FX 3. I'll show you the rig. It is... Where are we at? Here we go. So it's this amp, this FAS Stealth Blue. Sounds very good. Very, very good. Yeah, I've got my free IR on there, which we all know. Where's the high cut? 7K. Bit of multi-tap delay. Doing that thing. Reverb. Like, probably don't even need this in here, but I like the gold plate. And pitch detune, so that's what's going on. Even more expensive than an Anderson or a Sir. Yeah, I went to the factory. They've got some cool stuff that they do that you don't find on a normal guitar. Like the Schmear paint job. I don't know how they do it. It's either if you don't like it, that's fine. But like the way they do their nuts as well, with the like metal filings that they kind of 3D print and stuff like that. So yeah, if I could only choose one, oh man, just love the one you're with. You know, that's the saying, right? How about that King's X influence tune, Leon, the bridge? You want to hear the thing? All right, let me just... Floating bridge, so bear with me, everybody. We're going to do a bit of this. I'll play the bridge on the bridge. Oh, yeah. Oh, actually, not too bad. I think it's highly... I mean, trying to do this on a Floyd isn't fun, but on a 2-point floating bridge, it's not a nightmare. So what are we talking about? Let's see the bridge. Sorry. Ahaha, Lorenzo's Figure Me Out. In Absentia is one of my favorite albums ever. You've got it, that. It's now occurring to me how King's X that riff is, right? So good. Who is your biggest influence? I don't know. If I had to pick, you know, the individual that had the most impact on me playing guitar is definitely my dad, because my dad plays guitar, and then he had all the cool albums that he showed me that got me into all the music that I like. So yeah, I mean, aside from the obvious like biological impact there, that would probably realistically be the biggest influence on like wanting to play. So yeah, but a lot of other ones. Someone requested Taiketo before, and there's that Forever Young riff, which is just awesome. They are such a good live band. We saw them at Glamfest last year. We played with them, and yeah, they were so good. Like, so good. Danny Vaughan's voice, man. Wow. So yeah, that. And then what is it? Very, very cool. Where's the chorus? There's that big F chord in that. Ah, man, that's not it. What am I doing? Something a bit more like that. Something like that, anyway. It's Gilsil Building, John. Have you done a deep dive on Rory Gallagher? No, that'd be a cool one to do, though. Mostly because anytime I play anything AC30 inspired, I want to play Rory Gallagher licks. Yeah, it's pretty rad. By the way, just to show you how sick I am with gear, I bought a Gil Euron based off a video you did for my E Standard 70s. My man, aren't they just the best thing ever? What did you get? Did you get one of his Les Paul style guitars? Because the 59 replica that I tried is, yeah, it's great. Like really, 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 really great. I wanted to buy it off my friend, and he was like, "No, I'm never selling this." And I was like, "Yeah." Also, I probably can't quite afford what it's worth, but it's a 59 replica with his headstock. Even better in my opinion. The guy's such a great luthier that it's like, yeah, let's not mistake that for a Gibson. Let's have all the things that made a 59 great, but put your headstock on it. I'm a fan. John Peel sessions with Rory, yeah, dude. I have listened to a lot of his stuff. I just haven't. I should probably do like a video or a tone breakdown or a lesson or something. Yeah, is it a Rock Palast thing where they do? That's so not going to be the sound for it. Let me do this. Where they do shadow play. When I hear Rory play, I hear where Vivian Campbell picked up so much of his stuff. You know, you can just hear the similarities in there. Thorns, yeah, I mean, so many of us know about Gil Euron because of Pete Thorne's 59, right? Looks so good. Having played one, I can confirm they're just phenomenal. Like, it feels like a 70-year-old guitar that's really been looked after. That sounds so good. Yeah, they're obnoxiously bright. Yeah, it's one of those things. It's funny, like with the you know, the Tyler, the case that it comes in, it says like, congratulations on your new guitar, now you know. And I feel like that's the Gil Euron thing. It's like when you play one, you're like, okay, now you know how like, you know, well, now you know. You know, I know because I've played one, but when people talk about like Holy Grail 59s as being these great instruments, you're like, okay, I can hear that in there. Big time. Thoughts on Strandberg guitars? When I play shows, people still ask me what they are. I feel like it's the most popular guitar out right now. Yeah, it's a good it's very funny, right? Where
doing what we do, like, you get very highly specialized when you're a guitar nerd, and you see Strandberg's with all your guitar nerd friends, and you're like, wow, these are the most popular guitar design. And you speak to someone who's not a massive guitar nerd, and I'm not saying that to disparage them or to disparage guitar nerds, but you go see a band play and someone's playing a Strat, and you're like, cool, man, what Strat is it? And they're like, I don't know, a Strat? Sounds cool. I feel like it's easy to forget that the majority of, one, musicians, and two, guitar players, and three, the general public, there's like maybe two guitar designs they are really, really aware of. And then, for the rest of us, it's like, oh, wow, all little specific things. So, yeah, I do find that interesting where, yeah, people see a guitar without a headstock. I've got a Harley Benton, like Strandberg, light kind of thing. I've played that live a bunch of times. So many people are like, dude, what is that? Why isn't there a headstock? And you're like, you've never seen a headless guitar before? Like, come on, they're everywhere. They're absolutely everywhere. Yeah, so having said that as well, I've got a show this afternoon, so I'm going to go and do some things and get ready for it and set this up for drop C. I think I know what to do. I'm just going to put an extra spring in the back, and that's going to sort the setup for drop C for one night, I should say. Hey, Phil, played one of my favorite shows ever in Kansas City. Love that place. I'm so finally excited to see an affordable one. Yeah, right? It's like, a hot rod modded Super Strat. That's the fundamental thing, and it's not, absolute upper echelon pricing. It's like, sub 2K US, which is great. Guitar Man, sorry about grandkids needing me. I had to play them a tune before bed. Dude, you didn't miss anything. You missed nothing if you got to put your grandkids to bed and play them a tune. Everyone else was missing out. That sounds great. All right, I'm going to head off, everybody. Good night, everybody. Take it easy. I'll see you on the next one very, very, very soon.